Present our second speaker now, Denis Mukwege. I think it comes at a very opportune moment after what you have explained about rape and about women not being victims here. I think Dr. Mukwege from the Panzi Hospital in the Democratic Republic of Congo daily does incredible work. He gives back dignity to these women, their physical integrity, helps them get back what they've lost because of the organized violence committed by militants and others. I will give him the floor. He wasn't a Nobel Prize winner, but I think despite being a man, he would have deserved it. He's really worked for women and with women. So I will give him the floor for 5 minutes to tell us the most important points. Who knows, maybe in this room there are some future Nobel laureates amongst the women in this room who after this meeting will go out and fight for what they believe in. So Mr. Mukwege, you have the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, parliamentarians, ministers, to all the participants, it's a real privilege to be here and to be part of this panel, to be here next to Jody. I think we share a lot in terms of our vision, in terms of conflict. Being with Mrs. Bangura, we work together on a regular basis, so I am very honored to be here this morning. This panel is talking about the mother of female empowerment, peace, security, and the integrity of the person. A few years ago, in my everyday practice, I treated a young girl, a minor. I don't think she fully understood what had just happened to her. She had been raped with extreme brutality. She then had a urinary incontinence. All her genital organs were destroyed simply. We carried out several operations. In the end, we managed to re-establish her urinary continence. We managed to carry out some repairs to her genital organs. She was very beautiful. She had sparkling eyes. She was intelligent. She was signed up to our empowerment program for women and girls. She chose education. In a few years, she will become a nurse. She kept saying to me, I would like to become a nurse because I would like to help others. And that really touched me. And I think that's what Jody was saying. Women have something which is different. She suffered so much. And now becoming an adult and a nurse, she can be autonomous, she can earn money. And those people around her were touched by her beauty. Every time she met someone and she thought she could start her life again, what happened was that she realized that her physical integrity had been stolen from her. She didn't have her functioning genital organs. Every time this was something that came back again and again, and she would come back to me as an adult to ask me, Doctor, will I have my period? She would ask me if she could have a child. She asked me how it would be possible for her to have normal sexual relations. This young girl who had lost that because of this barbaric act. It wasn't just her physical integrity that had been affected, but this also led to psychological problems. And this was so serious that sometimes it affected her work as a nurse. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very extreme case that I'm telling you about. But there are a whole range of cases in between. Jodie told us what happened to her. She managed to overcome that. But all those women who have to experience sexual violence, who are raped, this is a direct attack on their physical integrity and their psychological integrity, and it changes the course of their life in one way or another. You can come out of this, but you will not be the same as before. When we talk about the empowerment of women, we have to bear in mind this aspect. It's a crucial objective. It's something which is difficult to obtain in a number of countries, particularly in mine, the Democratic Republic of Congo. There are numerous projects looking at the empowerment of women, at promoting equality and gender parity, but we still see that women are underrepresented in the institutions. They're not well treated, they're discriminated against, and it's against the general interests of society. We need to support these projects, but unfortunately they haven't really managed to resolve the fundamental questions that we ask ourselves today. The mother of female empowerment is peace, security, and of course the integrity of women. In periods of conflict and instability, women are the first to suffer. Insecurity and war simply exacerbate a situation that already exists in times of peace. Now, women, even in countries in periods of peace, there are still women who are dying because of domestic violence. When you have chaos, insecurity, war, the absence of the state, a situation of impunity, then this phenomenon is amplified to levels where women simply don't have a place in society anymore. And I think that's why Jodie was insisting that you have to fight against war. It's a decision which is taken. If you don't have peace, if you don't have security, the physical integrity of women will always be at risk. Without peace, we cannot contribute to a fairer society where women can be empowered and contribute to progress. In the Panzi hospital, the victims of violence that we treat, they're not looking for empowerment at the beginning. They don't come for capacity building. They come because they simply want to have control over their bodies again. They want someone to tell them that they're human beings. They want to find their integrity again. In a context of armed conflict, when a woman is raped, it's not just a non-consenting sexual relations. I go further than that. Rape has nothing to do with sex. We have to be very clear about that. You're denying someone's humanity. You are taking away that person's ownership of their body. By destroying their genital organs in this way, you're taking away their right, their joy at being able to give life and being the mother of humanity. When women come to the hospital, they have been stigmatized and they bear the burden of this. This is why we don't just treat the physical wounds of our patients, but we try to help reinforce their mental well-being as well. We help them to rediscover their humanity and rediscover what was stolen from them, their physical integrity, their psychological integrity, and their dignity. It's only after this phase that we suggest a program looking at economic autonomy. Now, once a woman starts asking, what am I going to do? What am I going to become once I leave the hospital, once I leave the project? That's a sign of healing to us. A woman who's been mentally and physically affected, she doesn't even think about becoming autonomous. So once we're talking about this issue, it's important to deal with the physical and psychological integrity first, so that a woman feels strong enough to be able to properly enter into life, where it's not always easy. We also facilitate access to the legal system, to justice for those who want it. Now, we don't oblige them to do it, but for those people who want to, if they want to help in that fight against impunity, then we support them in this. We think it's very important in preventing this from occurring again, preventing future violence. The results are clear. We've had patients who have left the hospital and our projects completely transformed because we have helped them to understand and to realize their full capacity and the value they have and everything that they have to offer. These women are not just surviving, they become actors of change in their families, in their communities, within society. They become real community leaders. Whether it's at the market, in church, you can see when you have gone from this situation of being a victim, you don't want to be treated in this way anymore. And then you move on to the phase of being an activist. You find the strength to reappropriate your values. We provide support to these women, and then they become capable of educating their own children and influencing a future generation, a new generation of men and women who are conscious that they are equal and that their lives have the same value. Ladies and gentlemen, if we want a world where women are equal to men, we have to ensure that women have their physical and moral integrity so that they can create their place in society in an environment which is often not respectful of the rights of women, so that they can become empowered and fully participate. If we want to create a fairer world, we have to take this position. We have to speak out against what is unacceptable. We have to draw a line and say this is not acceptable. The international community has fixed limits when it's come to genocide, when it comes to chemical weapons. We've seen that recently. Women parliamentarians can help draw the red line when it comes to rape as a tool of war. You can do this, ladies. You can help to draw this red line. We cannot say that we want to achieve the empowerment of women while we still accept these atrocities being committed to against women just because there are women. If we don't take a position here, we're accepting the idea that women are not equal as human beings compared to men, because rape with extreme violence goes against our very humanity. This humanity belongs to men as well as women. Thank you.